What if everything you think needs to be in place before you hit upload? The perfect lighting, the polished script, the confidence that only comes from feeling completely ready is actually the very thing that's been keeping your channel from existing. That ideal first video you've been building in your head, the one where everything goes smooth and sounds exactly like you imagine. It isn't preparation, it's procrastination with better branding. So how long have you actually been waiting? Not how long you've been thinking about starting. How long have you genuinely been sitting on this, saying to yourself, it's almost time, almost ready, almost there? For most people, the honest answer is uncomfortable. It's not days, it's months. Sometimes it stretches into years. And the longer that waiting continues, the more convincing the story becomes. The story that says the gap between where you are and where you need to be is simply too far to cross. But here's the thing about that story. It only exists because you haven't tested it yet. The moment you start, the gap you were afraid of becomes the ground you're already walking on. So what is actually happening in your head when you imagine posting that first video? Probably freaking out. Deep inside your brain, the amygdala, which is a small, fast-acting alarm system that has been keeping humans safe from threats for thousands of years, it cannot distinguish the difference between a lion and a comment section. To your amygdala, the possibility of public judgment registers as a genuine threat to your safety. Your pulse quickens, your hands get clammy, your brain starts generating worst-case scenarios at full speed. Your body prepares itself as though something serious is about to happen. Because from your amygdala's perspective, something serious is about to happen. So if your brain is hardwired to read public exposure as danger, how do you get it to stop? You don't wait it out. Waiting doesn't reduce fear, it feeds it. What actually works is moving through it repeatedly until your nervous system accumulates enough evidence to update its conclusion. It will desensitize it. Every time you publish something imperfect and nothing catastrophic happens, your brain registers that. Like when you go to say catastrophic and you say it differently. Your brain registers that. The negative comment didn't end you. The low view count didn't end you, nor define you. The awkward moment didn't destroy you. And slowly, with each upload, something shifts. The alarm gets quieter. What felt like stepping off a ledge starts more like stepping through a door. That's the nervous system catching up with reality, and the only way to get there is through. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Ask yourself this: what will your channel look like 6 months from now if posting a video felt as stressful as sending a voicemail? There's another side to this that most people have never heard about, and it has everything to do with how your brain actually rewards you for creative work. There are two competing systems running at the same time. The first is what you could call the perfectionism loop. It promises a payoff, but only once the video is perfect, only once it is completely ready, only once you fix that one last thing. The catch is that the finish line keeps moving. Perfect never actually lands. So the reward never actually comes. And you stay in an exhaustive cycle of refining something that never gets released. The second system is the completion circuit. It doesn't care about perfect. It fires the moment something is finished and sent out into the world. Done triggers the reward. Not perfect, done. And here's what that means. Practically every video you publish, no matter how rough around the edges, is training your brain to associate the act of finishing it with the feeling of accomplishment. Do that enough times and the momentum starts to build on its own. The anxious questions, what if people don't like it? What if nobody watches it? Will they say something wrong? What if I say something wrong? They lose their volume. And what fills that space instead is something much more useful. The confidence of someone who has a track record of actually showing up. Think about creators you genuinely trust and follow. Was it the flawless production that made you trust them? Or was it a moment where something felt unexpectedly real? For most viewers, it's the second one. And that's not a coincidence. There's something about watching someone show up without the full armor of professional production, without every word perfectly chosen, without every frame perfectly lit. Something about that breaks through in a way that polished content simply can't. It's not that low quality is the goal, it's that authentic presence is something an audience can feel, and it's something that no amount of editing can fake. Trust doesn't get built by looking impressive, it gets built by being seen. That same opportunity is sitting right in front of you today with whatever camera you have, in whatever room you're in, but it requires you to change one thing about how you're measuring success. If the standard is perfection, you will never begin, because perfection is a standard that stays permanently out of reach. The shift that actually unlocks everything is treating your early videos not as final statements about your ability, but as experiments you're running to get better. Simple as that. Every stumble teaches recovery. Every flat moment teaches energy. Every video that doesn't land teaches you something that no amount of watching other people's videos could have taught you. That's not failure, that's the actual curriculum. Real growth doesn't look like a clean, steady climb. It looks like a series of attempts. Uneven, sometimes embarrassing, occasionally surprising. Each one building on the last. The creators who look effortless now, the ones with large audiences and easy on-camera presence, none of them started there. They started somewhere that looked a lot like where you are right now. What they did differently wasn't that they were more talented or more confident or more ready. They just uploaded anyway. What is a single specific thing standing between you and uploading something this week? Not in general. What is the actual specific fear or excuse or invented standard that is holding you back? Because starting isn't about eliminating that fear. It's about deciding to move while it's still there. The creator who publishes something imperfect every week for a year will build something real. The creator who spends that same year refining something they never post will have a very clean draft and nothing else. Are you building a channel or are you building a reason not to? Your first video doesn't need to be good. It needs to exist. Hit upload. Let it be a hot mess. Let it be real. Let it be the first step in a process that only works if you actually take it. Start this week. Start today. Start right now. Thanks so much, everybody. See you in the next one. Have an amazing day.